Hello everybody and welcome back to a new mod showcase. Today we've got the Mercenaries of Khuresh mod, which is basically, imagine the Tigermen or Cafe mod, right? It's that, but very stiff and erect snakes, one of which isn't necessarily a snake. You'll see. What I'm going to do in this mod showcase, because it's a much smaller mod showcase than some of the recent mod showcases of them, is show you again how to access them in the campaign map, what you need to be looking out for, and where you should go about getting them. And then once you do have them, I'll be going into a bit of a deep dive on their stats and their models as well as also doing a little bit of a mod showcase, a little bit of a battle at the end as well. Obviously with the previous couple of mods, they've been some juicy boys, so I've not been able to do a whole entire battle because we'd be here for about 3 hours. However, this one, a nice little tease of a mod, so let's get into it. Without further ado, I would just like to remind you that this mod is a prelude to the final mod. So what you see here is not the final product, it is a little bit of a sneak peek as to what is to come in the final version of the mod and the faction which will be. It's just basically give you an idea of what the mod team is working with and what they are working to create. Very similar in the aspect of the Tigermen of Cafe mod. So without further ado, if you haven't already, please do leave me a like, subscribe if you also haven't already, and let's just jump straight into it. Okay, so here we are 21 turns into a Khorne campaign. So this is a Scar brand. I've just been running around slapping shit, to be fair, on easy difficulty, just to get this to pop. Now this basically gives you a situation where you can get an unusual location, which then will get you the Khuresh mercenary units. So it kind of gives you an option here of wager. So basically, yeah, you'll take them, nice one. An unusual location will be constructed, and then mercenary units and unit capacity will be granted next turn. Beautiful. Ignore them. You may be asked about the settlement at a later time, so it could come back around, or kill them. You will not be asked about the settlement again. So again, this is kind of like a prelude mod, similar if you see my other mod showcase of the Fishmen mod, the Ovian fish mod. This mod works very similar in that it's not a fully fledged faction, at least not yet. It's just a select few units so far, but it will be a more fleshed out mod in the future. It literally is at the moment just kind of give you a bit of a naughty tease. So I'll click wager and I'll show you what happens after that. Okay, so after that encounter, I have discovered where it is the camp will be deployed. So it's at the Lost Plateau over here where Throic would spawn. It's not going to be the same for you, or it might be the same if you're lucky, but it shouldn't be the same for you. It will give you a random location, literally depending on what faction you're playing and who, or what settlements you have. So for us, we have the Lost Plateau here, and it literally is just here, the Shrouded Society Gathering. It gives you Serpent Cult Mercenary Pool capacity +2. And as well as Case Undivided Corruption and minus growth. So let's skip a turn real quick and see what happens at the start of next turn. Okay, so here we are. We've loaded in with a new lord, obviously in the province where the Lost Plateau is. If you click on your lord, we have 3 options down here. Obviously you've got your normal recruit, your regiment of renown, and here you've got the Serpent Cult Mercenaries. So the way this works is it will give you access to a certain unusual location. What that unusual location will give you is completely random, and dependent on what location you get is dependent what units you can recruit. So here, for example, we've got the Orobagor Herd units. So as you can see here, we click on here, High Serpent Cult Mercenaries, Bosch. And there we go, we've got a capacity of 2, and we can just recruit them straight away in, just like that. Nice and simple, easy peasy. The more you play, the more chance you'll get of another encounter popping up. What I'll do actually is I'll try and skip forward quickly now, just show you that another encounter can pop up. Kind of give you a rough time scale as to when that happens as well. But I'll quickly skip to that, and then we'll get into showing some of these units off in a skirmish battle, and maybe a little bit of a tease battle at the end as well. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so here we are. We've fast forwarded a couple of turns up to, as you can see here, tier 33. Oh, sorry, turn 33. Here we've got new mass. We actually had two unusual locations pop at the same time, or not at the same time, a couple of turns apart. I'm not too sure if this is the reason for what I'm about to show you, but we had one unusual location. Like I say, a couple of turns after, we then got another at the same place. So if we click on new mass here, we've got the unusual location here. We've got instead of what we had at the other place, we've got the Sibilant Ritual Grotto. So this is a tier 2 unusual location. I don't know, because when it first popped up it was a tier 1, and then the other situation popped up, and now it's a tier 2. So I don't know if that's how it upgrades over time and gives you obviously access to the new units, if it just gives you more situations to decide what you want to do, and then you can get different units. But because this is tier 2, it does actually give you units to a Naga unit here, the Spitting Naga, as well as the Orobagor Herd. Again, pronunciation, I do apologise, butchering is going to happen. So with that being said, as you can see, we've got Numas there. Over here we've got our boy. We click on the highest Serpent Cult Mercenaries here, and I've already done it, but you can see here we've now got access to 2 of the, I believe, 4 units in this mod. So with that being said, that is roughly how it works. I can leave a list of the factions in the description of what will have access to these units. Obviously, Khuresh is a little bit more naughty, and so Order Tide won't be able to get them. At least predominantly Order Tide factions won't be able to get them. However, when the actual full faction comes out, I very much doubt many factions will be able to get them. I would assume it will just be down to the Khuresh mod obviously being the main supplement sorry, for the snakes. So that being said, let's actually have a look at these in a bit of a battle. Okay, so here we go with the first unit of the 4 units available in this little tease of a mod. And what I will do is kind of show you the stats of the unit and go through what they actually provide. Unlike the Ogre mod I just recently covered, this one's pretty light in what it has to offer at the moment, so we've got no worries of obviously having to cover this out. God, they are loud though. But let's have a look at these models as well. They're like horse beastmen, kind of horrific, but also really cool looking at the same time. I'm loving the detail and the work that they've obviously put into it. Let's have a look at some stats. So here we've got the Orobagor Herd. There's 24 entities in this pack of naughty boys. They are anti-infantry monstrous beasts. They have predator senses and no forest penalty. They've got some armour, however scantily dressed they may be. They have leadership at 65, not too bad, but you know, fairly decent. Speed's pretty good as well, 74 speed. Melee attack and melee defence, a little bit lacking, but you know, they're only tier 2 infantry, tier 2 monster. So not here for a good time. Sorry, not here for a long time, they're here for a good time. And that is, instead of being ridden, they're going to ride you. Hold on. Yeah, maybe it didn't come out right. Here you can see a little bit of the buffs as well that it should give. Obviously causing fear, a couple of spell resistance and physical resistance. Woodsman, hide in forest, which is nice. The Vanguard deployment, which is going to be good, especially if you can get lots of these units. As you saw in the showcase I showed you in the campaign map, these come as a capacity of 2 straight after get-go, which is really nice. They've got strong vigor, which it means that they obviously don't get tired as quickly, and they have phasing presence, which when they are out of melee, they constantly have plus 20 speed, plus 25 missile resistance, and plus 25 spell resistance, which is very nice, as well as that frenzy as well. So a really good low tier monstrous unit. Again, available whenever it decides to pop up, but you know, a strong contender to obviously show off this mod straight after get-go. So with that being said, that's 1 out of 4 shown off. Let's start on to the next snaky boys. This is the least snake creature in this mod, by the way. The others are very snaky. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we have this second unit of the mod showcase. A lot more erect than the last unit we just showed off there. A lot more snake-like, as horrific as that maw may be, and maw is a good word to use because this is the Dreadmaw. As you can see there, stats absolutely out the wazoo. A tier 5 monster, bringing armoured pretty heftily there, causing terror and scaly skin, which is obviously going to help with that missile resistance. It has 110 armor, so pretty chunky. 80 leadership, so quite good leadership. Speed, pretty slow, but not too slow. It's got poisonous melee at 47. Melee defense, a little bit lacking, but then it is a massive slong snake. And probably not here again for a long time. It's here for a good time. Weapon strength at 500, meaning it's going to be absolutely slapping boys. Bonus feast large, as well as armor piercing, which is pretty nice. And an alright charge bonus to boot. It's got plenty of resistances, as you can see there, causes terror, and of course is a siege attacker. It has charge reflection, wall breaker, as well as strider, charge defense feast large, second skin, which basically allows it, if it has less than 50% health, to have plus 10 speed and plus 20 physical resistance, but losing 45 armor. So still having like a good, like solid 80 armor, but you know, well, 70 armor, but you know, giving that a little bit of a chance to get out of boot and potentially get healed up if you've got a caster in your army, and then obviously your wounds, which is a generic one. That is the second boy, looking pretty naughty and pretty gapey there. Let's head on to the third boy, which is kind of similar to this one, but again, just look at that model there. Such a nice model. So I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let's head on to the third one. Okay, so here we go. We've got the Dreadmaw as if it went to fancy dress and came out all confused. Here we have the Here we go. The Sawanak Pyrenaga. That was good, actually. I'm quite proud of myself there. Probably going to get butchered in the comments, but we'll take it with what we've got. Here we've got another tier 5 naughty boy. Armoured, armour piercing, anti-large and scaly skin. Bringing not as much armour as the last erect snake, but you know, pretty good armour to boot. 100 armour, 80 leadership, 50 speed. Melee attacks, of course, with the flaming schlong on top of its schlongy head. Magical attacks as well as flammable, obviously making people more weakened to fire. Definitely the opposite. 55 melee attack, 28 melee defense, meaning it's going to be a little bit squishy in melee, but you know, it'll do its job. 425 weapon strength, so not as good, but obviously different buffs for different models here, different uses. Still bringing that bonus feast large as well as armor piercing, and a pretty good charge bonus to boot as well. It's got some bound spells, I guess you could use, which obviously it's got its venom breath attack, as well as a hex, which is pretty good. It pretty much completely halts everything. I mean, look at that. Minus 400 acceleration. Minus 75 speed. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's going to slow things down considerably. Deceleration, minus 400%. And then also weakening with the attack and defense there. Just looking quickly, we've got the causes terror, siege attacker, fire resistance, missile resistance, charge reflection, wall breaker, strider, charge defense is large, burning inside, which gives melee damage reflection, which means that when it is getting attacked, it's doing damage back, which is really good. And then obviously the bound spells we've just looked at. So a nice, different but varied unit to what we've just looked at before, and really cool looking. It just reminds me of like a pinata, I'll be honest. A horrific and terrifying pinata, but I don't know, bash it enough, maybe some candy will come out. Look at it. It's so cool looking, but also, I don't know, it also reminds me a bit of like an ice cream cone on the top of his head. I'm just going to leave this thing. Sorry, I'm going to stop bullying it and put it away now. Stay over there. And with that being said, let's head on to the last unit we've got here. Right, and here we go with the last of the naughty boys. Now, during the campaign, little showcase tidbit, I called them the Spitting Naga. These are actually voiced, and they call themselves the Spitting Naga, which is completely fine. If that's what they're called, that's what they're called. My mistake. I'm an incompetent fool. So here we go. Let's have a look. If we click on them, we'll have a listen to the voice lines, hopefully. Let's have a look.
Surreptitious.
Jesus, the little roar there. Sound a little bit like Skaven, but loving it. So cool. Very similar to the Tigermen of Cathay mod. Their voice actors and their voice lines are really cool. So obviously fitting in theme similar to that mod. These are also voiced, which is really cool as well. Having a look at the stats here, we've got armor piercing melee, anti-infantry, which is a nice substitute to the big monster boys over on the left over there. Don't worry about them. They are very fast, but I don't think they're that fast. I'll look at that in a minute. As well as having scaly skin. They are tier 3 infantry, or monstrous infantry, should we say. With an entity count of 20, so not too bad. There's enough of them, but not too many of them. They've got 60 armor, which means that they're not too armored, but you know, we've got something going for them. Leadership 70, so not going to be fleeing too soon. Speed 50, which for monstrous infantry is not too bad, but they could be faster. Melee attack is pretty good at 42 there, as well as having poison. Melee defense is a little bit low, but not too much of a concern. Weapon strength at 69 with a bonus for infantry and armor piercing, as well as a 35 charge bonus. They also have a range attack which only has 80 range, so not something they're going to be absolutely hurling down line like artillery, but something they definitely can do a lot of because they've got 18 ammunition. And this has a weapon strength of 269, which is actually pretty good, which includes poison as well as bonus V/large there. So a nice hybrid unit here, having obviously access to anti-infantry when it gets into melee, as well as anti-large when it's using its ranged weapon, which is really nice. Looking at its little abilities down here, it's got cause fear. Sorry, they scream really loud. Missile resistance, devastating flanker, which is sweet. Stalk, Strider, hiding forest, vanguard deployment, and then they've got the hunting competition here as well, which allows them to have reload skill and accuracy whenever there's a large enemy, basically within 60 meters, which is really cool. It allows them to basically hurl their ranged weapons down range to put that bonus V/large against a large entity, which is really nice. So with that being said, let's get into a little bit of a battle, mixing the Khuresh mercenaries with some naughty orc boys and see what they're actually capable of, including the big pinata boy over here. We'll see what happens there. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we go. We've got a little bit of a test battle here. We've got 2 units of the spitting Naja on the left and right flank. We've got 2 units of the Orobagor Herd as well as 2 of the mighty erect schlongs in the middle there against a legion of orcs and the greaskins. Here comes the spitting attack from, oh god, the pinata there. It's not called a pinata, but I'm not going to butcher its name every time I say it, so it's the pinata from now on. I'll be honest, we're stood very menacingly there. We're not really on the move. Oh, alright, right flank's going out wide, left flank is also going on the flank there. We've got the 2 snakes in the middle there holding strong, and a stray Scarbrand. Don't worry about him. Here we go. Going into melee, I'm hoping the snakes will be able to charge pretty soon. Just making sure. Oh, we've got a little bit of attack on the flanks there, but let's have a look at these snakes going into action. Ooh, God, the amount of entities just absolutely flung off there. Wowee. These orcs are just getting. Wow. Nice little, oh my god, the Orobagor Herd coming in the flankers as well. That is naughty, that. Very naughty. Jeez Louise. The pinatas. The pinata's just like, right, fuck this. I'm off, lads. See you later. Is he routed? Nope. He's out of there, though. Spitting Najas, I don't know if you just saw there, had a little bit of their range attacks. Shooting a little bit of the, I don't know, venom bolts down the line. You can see them in melee as well, looking really nice. The flame attacks there from the naughty boy back there as well, which is really cool. Bit of Naja's doing God's work with Orobagor Herd in the flanks as well, attacking some orcs. I think that's pretty much all she wrote for these poor greenskins. Just I have no idea what is going on. In comparison, let's just have a look at obviously the stats here. Not doing too bad on health, pretty much no damage whatsoever. Dreadmore and 73 kills though. It's a bit of Naja here, trying to get some shots down range, but unfortunately getting blocked by the Orobagor Herd there. But yeah, it's stood really menacingly. I really love the models of these. Look at them, looking so nice. Dreadmore just using all its flame attacks on the main lord there, while the right flank kind of cleans up with the boys trying to run. Orobagor Herd in the trees over here as well, looking really cool, just tearing some orcs apart. You'd love to see it. This is what we live for. Mods bringing life to factions which probably will never get it. Similar to the Tigerman Cafe mod, when that becomes fully fledged alongside this, it's looking pretty nice for the potential progression end, at least from a modder's point of view. And there we go, there is victory. And did the Pinata come back? Hello? Oh my god. Alright, it's coming back now. So, oh shit, sorry. Was we fighting? Sorry. How many kills did it get before leaving? 27. How funny. It's winded because it moved so far away. Oh dear. But there we go. I hope you have enjoyed this mod showcase, this little bit of a tease. If you have, please do feel free to install the mod. It is in the description below, as well as, like I said before, all the different factions which have access to these mods. Dreadmore still going crazy there with 121 kills. Subscribe if you haven't already. That would mean the world to me, as well as leaving a cheeky little like. It costs nothing and leaves a mark on my soul for eternity. I will remember every single like I ever got. I'm lying, I definitely won't. But with that being said, thank you for the continued support on this series, and I hopefully will catch you in the next one. Much love and bye.